In this video, we're going to take a look at the final type of transformation, which is an enlargement. And an enlargement takes a shape and it changes its size. So to define an enlargement, we need two things. We need a scale factor and we need a center of enlargement. In this first example, let's just try and understand the idea and concept of a scale factor. So if we have our original shape, which I'm just putting in red there, that's shape A, we can think about how it changes its size into B, C, and D, and describe that with a scale factor. So if we imagine taking that shape and making B with it, what number has each side been multiplied by to get B? Well, this green side here of A was 2, and the corresponding side of B is now 4. So we can see that to get from A to B, we times each side by 2. So the answer from A to B is a scale factor of 2. Right, what about then from A to C? Now, just because we use the word enlargement, it doesn't mean that we're necessarily getting bigger. From A to C is getting smaller. So if we think about that same side again there, look, it's 2. It's now only 1 in terms of from A to C. So that means what have I multiplied by to get from A to C? Well, I've times it by a half. 2 times a half, it's half the size. So A to C has a scale factor of a half. Finally, let's just take a quick look at D. So that same side again, I'm shading it in red this time. Okay, that side there is 2, and now it is 5. So I've got to think, what is it I'm multiplying by to get from a 2 to a 5? Now, A to D, the scale factor is 2.5, because if I take a 2 and I times it by 2.5, I'm going to get that answer of a 5. So a scale factor is the magnitude of which we're multiplying by to increase each side length. Now let's introduce an example, okay, where we have to draw the shape as well. So a rectangle of sides 2 centimeters and 3 centimeters is drawn to start with. Let's just draw that. Now we'll say that a centimeter is just 2 of those squares. So we'll just draw this as a 2 centimeter by 3 centimeter. Something like this. You will use a ruler when you're doing your questions. Okay, it's enlarged with a scale factor of 3. So let's enlarge it. So that side that is vertical is now going to be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The horizontal side that was 3 across is now going to be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our shape is going to look like this if it has been enlarged with a scale factor of 3. Now, the center of enlargement helps us as well. This is a further skill, okay, is to try to find or to use a center of enlargement. And this will change the shape, but it will also fix it in a movement in a certain position. So before we get started, let's just draw out the example again on the space below. So we have a center of enlargement and it's defined as O, and we have this shape, and I'm just going to draw it exactly as it appears, but I'm going to have a bit more space. There we go. So we're going to enlarge this with a scale factor of 3 using a particular center of enlargement. So what that means is that we are moving it and enlarging it by a scale factor of 3 relative to that point. So for example, let's just take this point here, which I've colored in blue. To get from the center to that point, we go 3 up and 2 across. If I'm going to enlarge it by scale factor by 3, I'm going to have another 3 up and 2 across, and another 3 up and 2 across. So now I've done that 3 times from that center. I'm going to mark that point there. Now let's do that again, and let's use this red thing that I've just shaded in. So that was just 2 across. So I do that again, and then again, right? I have now increased that by a scale factor 3. I've tripled the length of the line. The original line, look, was 2 across. Now it's 6 across. It's enlarged scale factor 3. Okay, finally, let's just use green for this final point. Okay, this one has gone 4 across and 2 up. If I go another 4 across and 2 up, and then another 4 across and 2 up, I've got that point there as well. So let's just join these up. And then we can see where our new shape has appeared, that grey shape, right? Okay, so if let's just shade in the original perhaps in green. Let's shade in my new enlarged shape here, look, in purple. So that is the new enlarged shape scale factor 3. And if we look, we can just prove that it has enlarged scale factor 3 because that left-hand side was 3. And if we count it now, it is, of course, 9. So there is the shape relative to that fixed point that we use to define it O. I hope that helps you to understand how to enlarge a shape with a specific scale factor.